Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Admiral, for being here for our conversation the other day. Thank you for your service. Thank you to your family as well. When we all say it, we really all do mean it, individually and collectively. We just want you to know. So thank you for that. What I wanted to delve into has been pretty thoroughly covered, but maybe I'll just step back. It was interesting, as you could tell, the discussion that began with Senator Wicker as it relates to, particularly, specifically to AUKUS, and then as it got broadened, I think, a little bit with Senator King talking about just shipbuilding in general, particularly the places he's been. And by the way, I very much appreciated your comment about the national call to service, that the call to service isn't just the military, it's the entire value chain. And we talked a little bit about mission, and maybe we could expand a little bit on that. But I especially appreciated then Senator Kane's bringing more of a dynamic relationship or perhaps outcome if the next responsibility of Congress is taken seriously. How do our geopolitical friends and alliances actually add more value than just 1.2 to 2.2, Virginia's class subs per year? I just want to give you another minute to maybe elaborate a little more on that, because I think particularly in the workforce piece of it, you had some pretty profound things to say about how we can perhaps at least give it our best, right, to step things up so that we're meeting our needs as well as the needs of our allies.
Well, thank you again, AUKUS, and I appreciate your time and our conversation the other day. I am focused on, building relationships with all of our allies and partners. Again, they're a strategic advantage, and the more that we can work with them and share information, build interoperability, the stronger our nation and our Navy and all of our militaries will be. AUKUS is a particularly great once-in-a-generation opportunity to knit together these three really capable allies who we already work with moving forward. But as we look about to the national call of service and we think about things like navies, where you may only know about the Navy if you live in a coastal state where there's a naval base or near a big naval air station, we really do need to get our people out and about to have a conversation with America about everything that the Navy can offer them and focusing on our mission, our enduring mission of sea control, power projection, deterrence, and sea lift, as I mentioned earlier, as well as maritime security. I think that excites people about what we do, and we'll be able to bring people not only into the Navy, but into our defense industrial base, where we also need capability to maintain and deliver our submarines. We've got lots of opportunities to get out there into the high schools and middle schools even with STEM programs, a Sea Perch or RoboSub, or we have many other initiatives. And again, I think people getting excited about national defense will help us, not only for the military, but also for the nation.
Well, I do come from the center of the North American continent, literally. We have a monument to prove it. And there are many patriotic sailors from North Dakota, including some admirals and whatnot. But I appreciate what you're saying, and I want to help advocate and facilitate that, even in the middle of the continent. So thank you for that. I want to wrap up with something I didn't intend to do, but I'm sorry that so many of my colleagues want to drag uniformed officers into their political fights, and I'm sorry that that had to happen to you a little bit ago. But Senator Warren said, it is clear that Republicans don't care about our servicemen and women and their families. It's clear that we don't care about our adversaries and their allies. Do you believe that? That Republicans don't care about you and your families? I mean, that's a blanket statement that she made.
As a member of the military, I believe that everyone in Congress supports everyone in our military. As I said in my opening statement, I thank everyone for their support to our Navy sailors, our families, and our civilians.
I appreciate that. And then I'm going to ask you this question. Is it your understanding that if Secretary Austin were to lift or rescind the rule to have the military pay for access to abortions, that Senator Tuberville would lift his hold and we could go back to unanimous consent confirmations. Is that your understanding, that if that one person, the Secretary of Defense, would rescind that order, that we'd get exactly what our Democratic friends say they want?
I don't want to speak for Senator Tuberville or any other member of this committee, so I do not know what that outcome would be.
Okay, that's fair enough. It's my understanding that would do it. So one person, Secretary Austin, come on, do the right thing. Thank you.